Good morning, y'all. It's me. I will set you down on a CD changer. Alright. Well, I had gotten very, very, very well rested in my Jeep last night. And then, right before I start recording, some guy comes pulling up over here. And of course, his rap music is turned up to a nice loud volume. Because he is vibing. He wants to be woke. He wants to do this. He like the wokest. So he would like to just play it. I was just trying to listen to the news. I heard enough already. I even got to hear the weather. I still don't know what the traffic would be like. I don't know why would it matter. It's kind of a quiet little morning here. But is it gonna build up later on? I thought it was a little slow driving around through Clarendon, Wilson Boulevard, around Boston Mall, all over the place. I drove everywhere yesterday. That's the thing when you live out here. You gotta be careful not to drive too much. Stay parked up for a little while. And nobody even realized. But I have been. I can peer out. It's right here. I can see plenty. This is so sneaky. Look how so sneaky, moist Andy. I can see people from here. That's the guy. Does he want to play games? Who is this? Photography is not unlawful. I'm able to take pics. I'm just here inside of my car. I didn't even open a door, did I? So how could he prove that I was here? He didn't hear me. If a tree falls down in the woods, nobody heard it. Did it fall? Well, just because nobody really bothered to come and check this out over here. Hey, that Jeep's been there for a few hours. What's going on over here? Is someone inside of the vehicle? What the hell do you think? Posted up right here, all the way in the corner, in plain sight, but the visibly windows are all blocked, and I got the thing on the windshield. Well, what if nobody's coming in and out of the vehicle? I can't say that. I did have to stretch my legs for a minute when I woke up this morning. And then I came right back inside, so what if nobody saw that, right? There's no cameras that are that close over here. They couldn't see that. I arrived at this spot, 10:30 last night. I was exhausted. I just came right here. I was wasting too much gas. I probably used a quarter of a gas tank. I'd say maybe a little more, because I filled up just to top it off halfway through. I never really run out of gas because I always make sure that it's above half full, no matter what. I have to do this. This is a very good habit. If you do that for the rest of your life, you'll never really get stuck anywhere. There wouldn't even be any benefit though to not doing that. It's why? That's only something that people would do in really, really poor places. That's a desperate thing to do. Just like this. This is desperate too. Right now I'm homeless. So I have to be very, very picky and be very, very, very sneaky about where the spot I park my car, if I'm gonna use the parking spot to get 8 hours of sleep. How much would that cost if you could buy a full night's good rest of 8 hours of sleep? Might cost $50. Something like this. And like, maybe it depends which country you're in. What currency you use, maybe. I was just maybe I should while I'm here head over to this little like supermarket, super center, get a pair of shoes. I could go to any super center I want to, but while I'm here, I don't know though, cause like I've been parked here for like, what if like the building manager, what if the guy sitting in the little cubicle looking at the camera, would he want to confront me? I would love to shake the person's hand and meet the person who got away with just totally being like so stealthy though. It's not easy. It takes practice to do this sort of thing. Right? What I'm doing right here, it's not like I just started to do these sorts of things just yesterday. I didn't. I have been doing these types of this type of deal probably on and off for years and years now. So I just have the knowledge, and I'm just trying to apply all of this in a way that would be beneficial to me. I'm just really so happy that the sun came out. I tried to film this same sort of deal last night. I'll upload the both of these. Maybe one might be a little longer than the other. I don't remember how long that one was. I forgot to check it. This can just be the 10-minute long clip. I think for my channel to be like successful, what I really got to do is have videos with many different topics to discussion. If it's a vlogging channel, many videos like that, numerous videos uploading every damn day, and keep it consistent. Don't miss out for any reason. This is the type of channel that I am going to have here. Not just now, because just now I'm able to do it. Before I wasn't. Okay, now the next thing you gotta do with each of these uploads is make them different lengths. They don't all make long, boring videos, and don't make short and like little clips that just seem so meaningless. If you do either of those things, you wouldn't get as many views and subscribers as what I'm trying to do here now. I don't think you would. What this is, it's gonna be like the more accelerated, like rapid, fast track into becoming like a viral vlogging person on YouTube. That's what this channel is. It really isn't much else. The whole thing about the radios, that's just something I do on the side. I'm trying to set up a little online shop. Go on eBay, sell anything. Doesn't matter if it's a radio or anything. I was going to actually see if I could get a couple things in a box, like old camera lenses, or even very, very good condition new camera lenses. I have both of these, many of those. They're back at my place though. Only issue with coming back there is I'm frightened. I'm scared for my life. I don't want to deal with these people that live at that address ever again. Oh no. I mean, the fish that I got there, they're cheap fish. I have so much in the bank. I can just. There's a pet store up here. Matter of fact, this is the last place I got some fish. I thought that I would have been able to keep them, but good thing I didn't really spend more than $40 on all. It wasn't very many fish at all. It's the smallest little fish that they sell in that store. Neon tetras, guppies, the danios are also pretty small, and the other one I got just some. The other tetras are also just as small. Not very much bigger. Guppy, you know, like the lamp eye tetras especially. Those are so compact. You could have a school of maybe half a dozen tetras that look the same as each other, and they're gonna kind of hang out together. That's what I've seen with it anyway. Well, they would be just as likely to hang around some other species of fish, like in a community. They do 50-50, I guess. I've had fish for a long time. Like, it's fun to just watch. In fact, I uploaded a clip of just the fish tank for a half hour. I did it just with this little camcorder. What I did, I set it down on my gaming chair. That thing is sturdy. It's like a big movie Hollywood tripod type thing. If you think about it, like the legs on the bottom of the chair, and the rotating chair type, and you can recline it, but it's a big heavy leather seat. The frame is probably just made of thick pieces of wood, and the armrest is so nice. You could just set the camera right on top of the armrest, flat, pointing the lens this way of the Sony camcorder. It's meant for vlogging, but you can still point it forward and it locks into place. It's a good thing. Well, do you think, should I try recording some of these at 720 at 60 FPS instead of 1080 at 30 FPS? Maybe. I'm sorry, my heartburn. I ran out of water an hour ago. At least I have this. This is good enough, right? Chocolate. Well, folks, if you really have heartburn issues like I do, take chocolate milk. Doesn't even have to. You could have the low-fat kind if that's all you can get. I found this at Whole Foods, actually. It's amazing. Oh yeah. That wasn't even very sugary. I'm gonna go back there again. I don't care how much I spend if I'm at the Whole Foods, because usually I go to these places only if I'm starving, right? I'm a bum. I'm homeless. And this week anyway, I am kind of not getting paid as much. I have to get through this first, you see. Like it took a lot of work to just go shopping yesterday, but ended up getting like food for at least a while, and everything else I needed, and some clothes. I went to many places, especially the Micro Center. Got all the things I needed there, bro. Brand new, fresh, starting from a clean slate. So I had a new solder iron, and I tell you what, this soldering iron that I got, I haven't even unboxed it yet, but It's a USB type of recharging but it makes 17 watts. I think that's what it said, or did it say just 7 watts maybe? It takes the 5 volts from that USB. Just from like a cell phone charger, you plug it in right there. I don't even think it has a battery in it. It just runs off of the power. And all it's doing is heating up a tiny little rod of molybdenum or tungsten or whatever metal it is, which then it's going to heat up a rod that's coated in copper. Is that what they make these tips from? This would get very hot, so hot. It's just a tiny little piece of metal. But if you put that much energy through it, 7 watts of heat, you make resistor here, and you have the resistor. And then the voltage comes down to the tip. Like it's like a diode. That's what I've heard. They take the alternations of it. If you have a 120 volts AC mains, they rectify that through just one little diode. That's all they put in the soldering iron. A huge fat piece of silicon. A P-type and an N-type pressed together in a sandwich. This is what a diode really is. To have a depletion layer of the electron holes. Isn't it in the N-type silicon? Electron holes, N-type, and then electrons move from N-type to P-type. They jump across the depletion zone. From what I remember, that's how semiconductors work. If you didn't know. And so you get this, all this stuff from the Micro Center. Well, it's 140, I don't even remember. And I got the parts I need to build, not necessarily radio. Like I said, I make other stuff here. What I'm gonna build, folks, it's a loud and a noisy siren. It's a siren which is actually totally not light sensitive, but it's manually adjusted just with a little knob. I got 2 of these little 100 kilo ohm knobs of a potentiometer. It's a variable resistor. You rotate the thing to set wherever you want it to be. It has 3 little wires hanging down. The one here and one here. You can hook up to whatever the heck you need to. And then in the middle they got one. This is the one that's attached to the rotating. So it's like adjusting like a slider. They literally take a piece of metal and they drag it against a thick old strip of graphite. This is the slider. This is the mechanism in the potentiometer where it's adjusting. These things have a limitation, so you could burn it out if the audio or whatever your signal is you've got going through, if it's too loud or if the voltage is too high or anything like that, it might cause it to handle too much, to heat up too much and burn out. It's a very uncommon thing. Something to look out for if you're building a guitar amp, maybe. It happened to me a couple times. I was making regenerative radios, and what you have to do with these radios to get it to work, right? You take the potentiometer, the middle part that's wiper, and this is attaching onto the screen of a tetrode, beam power tetrode type vacuum tube, big old hot thing. 350 volts on the plate, and you have about 200 on the screen, but you can adjust it back and forth. You could try maybe 250 if you go that way with it. Or you could take it all the way down to 150 this way. See what happens. And it's what the screen voltage does. It influences the path of the electron from the cathode to anode from when it's passing through the vacuum. Makes more or makes less of them go through, depending on maybe the voltage of the control grid. See, because the control grid is behind the screen grid. Control grid is always going to be closer to the cathode than the screen grid. But then there's also another grid in these tubes, these beam power tetrodes. They don't really actually have that one, but inside of a pentode tube, which I do have battery powered pentodes, I got like lots of boxes of those. I gotta build something with them when I get back to my place, maybe. Until then, I gotta get new tubes for all that. Oh, they might take a long time to ship from the UK. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to get everything from scratch. But I got half of it yesterday. Just a whole bunch of capacitors and everything else. The cheapest possible, the whole complete set of like multicolor, like LEDs. Every LED, every color you could think of the rainbow. And I got the cheapest, like the best value. I have hundreds of those though now. And I did have a whole bunch of really nice ones from Amazon. Everything I have back in my place is only the premium stuff that I could find from Amazon. And if it's not from the Micro Center. Like, I have like lots of stuff like just hanging out in a box about shoebox size this big. Well, I got three of these boxes. One in like under the desk here, another one under another desk, and then maybe one, I forgot where I put it, like underneath the desk where my aquarium. I have multiple aquariums. I have numerous aquarium freshwater fish. I'm a fish dad, and I take care of those. I'll still rescue those guys. Don't worry. Their water is still very clean. Cleaned it on Wednesday. I did 100% water change in each of those tanks, and I know from plenty of times doing water changes on my tanks, I've had them for years and years. So they stay clean for like a week if you do that, especially if you don't feed them. They're just, it's like Ramadan and they're fasting right now. It's like a religious type of. My fish are not eating anything, assuming no one else in the place feeds them at all. And because, well, I don't know. I mean, they might hit. Like you look in the side of the glass and just watch these fish, see if they're swimming around and see how they look. It's obvious to tell whether or not these fish get hungry. They act hungry though. Like you can tell. They'll start splashing around and they'll tell you from a distance that they're hungry. These fish go nuts sometimes. It takes a long time for a fish to actually go hungry though. I've never really even seen it happen. I mean, these fish, you feed them like once a week, and that's about all they really need, man. Just to survive. They're gonna be kind of a skinny looking fish if you do it, but that would be fine. And you know, like I've also got like lots and lots of baby snails, all just hanging out on the glass and the gravel everywhere in the tank, hundreds of them. Well, I sucked out clean the gravel by like doing the water change thing through the hose. They call it a python. It uses suction and it gets all the detritus from the bottom. And whenever you do that, though, lots of the the newborn snails get. They drift away. They end up in pouring down into the bucket, and you chuck it in the toilet. It flushes. That's so cool how you could flush a toilet by dumping water in. You don't even have to use the lever. It's interesting to me. Oh yeah, like you change the water. When you add the fresh water in though, make sure it's just the right temperature and everything, and conditioner and everything like that. Get like the chloramine has to convert into ammonia and off gas. That's essentially what these sulfites are. What do they put in this water conditioner? The C-Chem Prime. What is this made of? Well, whatever it is, you just take like about a teaspoon of it in your bucket, and if there's any chlorine in there at all, it'll just evaporate kind of all of a sudden. It happens rapidly though. You can smell it as it's off-gassing. And like you don't get very much chlorine to off-gas from 5 gallons of water anyway, so might as well just swish it around, and as you're walking back to the tank, I don't know, maybe air it out a little while. Aeration is important, and then you just chuck it into the fish tank. If you've drained it, you need to replace the water with this. They really don't care. If you do the 100% water changes, you take those nitrates from a very high level all the way down to like almost nothing. These fish don't really mind. You're cleaning their water, right? So then why would they have an issue with like a sudden drop in like the pH, or big huge swings in the imbalance of everything in the ecosystem? It's not like they would care about that. What if the water's relatively clean to begin with, and you feed your fish a minimal diet with very like kind of the lowest possible amount of crude protein as you can have up in there? Well, they just might not have an issue with it at all. Wow. Oh. See, that's the issue, dude. Like, I promised to y'all that this would be 10 minutes long. I wonder how did I lose track though? It's interesting because like this will record for 20